From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Sunny day across mid-Michigan with some really impressive temperatures as we kick off the work week. Outside this evening, we're at 48 degrees in Lansing, 47 in Marshall and Mason, and 48 for our current temperature in Charlotte, Jackson, Hillsdale, and also over in Coldwater. We have also seen some very breezy conditions with winds mainly gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour throughout the day. Our winds will calm down as we go throughout the overnight hours, but then the chance for rain will be moving in. We'll talk about those details and more in just a bit. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
Federal workers are now just about 7 hours away from a midnight deadline to list 5 things they accomplished last week or lose their job. Yes, I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry is off tonight. The AFL-CIO has sued the federal government over an email sent to employees over the weekend asking them to submit 5 things they did last week or risk being fired. As Christian Benavidez reports tonight, the directive has sparked confusion and pushback.
I thought it was great.
President Trump is defending an email sent to more than 2 million government employees, directing them to list 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week by midnight tonight.
By asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working?
Presidential advisor Elon Musk warned it was coming, writing on his social media platform X that failure to respond will be taken as a resignation.
If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
But while a few agencies urged workers to comply with the email, a number of them, including the FBI and the State Department, told staff to pause any response for now. The Pentagon also opted out, just days after the president made major personnel moves there. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, C.Q. Brown, and the chief of the U.S. Navy. Democratic Senator Jack Reed slammed the moves.
It's the beginning of a very, very serious degradation of the military and politicization of the military.
Trump intends to nominate retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Kane to replace General C.Q. Brown. Trump also announced that conservative podcaster and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino will serve as deputy director of the FBI under Kash Patel. It comes as thousands of staffers with USAID are now officially on administrative leave after a judge lifted a block on the Trump administration's plan. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The second in command at the FBI is traditionally a career agent, but Bongino does not have any FBI experience. Like Patel, however, he has been allowed defender of the president. Well, the email mentioned earlier and the confusion that followed worried many federal workers, and our Zach Priest spoke with current and former workers today. He's here for you now with their reaction. Zach?
Thanks. Many people were confused, like an IRS worker from Michigan who wasn't even sure who the original email was from. That worker added that the approach to these federal layoffs has, in her opinion, been unprofessional all around. She pointed out that the email did not provide any context as to why she needed to hash out her accomplishments from the last week. She did, however, receive word from a boss within the IRS during our interview, though, who said she does need to respond. She did not want to appear on camera because she fears for her job, but says there are better ways to audit federal workers, while others, like Marine veteran and former Ann Arbor VA worker Andrew Lennox, feel let down.
Had they come in and really sat down with our leaders and said, what is this person's role, whatever, they're going about it the wrong way.
Like, again, this is something I spent 10 years of my life, trying to defend the American ideals of justice, truth, integrity. February 13th, I got an email that I'd been terminated due to poor performance, despite never having a performance review.
Musk said over the weekend that, quote, the bar is very low here when it comes to replying to this email. He says it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to write, but the woman we spoke with says the demand should come from her direct superior and not Elon Musk.
Zach, thank you. Several dozen protesters showed up at the office of Congressman Tom Barrett today. This is the second time a rally has taken place at his new office downtown. They're demanding answers from him surrounding the Trump administration and Elon Musk's federal funding cuts. They say Congressman Barrett's lack of action is unacceptable. Barrett responded to the last protest, saying he vows to represent all of his constituents, not just the Republicans. The other controversy right now surrounds how the Trump administration is handling the war in Ukraine. The president will be meeting with several European leaders this week and possibly with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Today, French President Emmanuel Macron sat down for a discussion. At one point, President Trump falsely claimed the U.S. has spent more to help Ukraine than all the other European countries. Macron corrected Mr. Trump, saying that's simply not true. The president also responded to calling Zelensky a dictator, not Putin.
I don't use those words lightly. I think that we're going to see how it all works out. Let's see what happens. I think we have a chance of a really good settlement between various countries. And, you know, you're talking about Europe and you're talking about Ukraine as part of that whole situation. The other side has a lot of support also. So let's see how it all works out. It might work out. Look, you can never make up lives. The one thing you can make up the money, but you can't make up the lives.
President Trump added Ukraine may be able to recover some of its Russia-occupied land, but said it will not come without a price. Here in mid-Michigan, another group is marking 3 years since Russia's invasion of Ukraine with an exhibition. It's called Resistance, Ukrainian Art of Freedom. It features the works of 9 Ukrainian artists who tackle violence, trauma, and how the country has changed, not just since the invasion 3 years ago, but also since Russia took over Crimea in 2014. The exhibit will be at Scene Metro Space in downtown East Lansing through March 21st, and there's an opening night reception tonight. It started at 5 and runs through 7 o'clock. Steady today here in Michigan. AAA says the statewide average is up by just 1 cent compared to last week. So now drivers are paying on average $3.08 per gallon of regular unleaded. AAA says that's about $46 to fill up a 15-gallon tank. Drivers in the greater Lansing area are paying slightly less with an average of $3.06. And in Jackson, prices are right there at the statewide average at $3.08. The reigning Miss USA and Okemos native finished among the leaders at the Walt Disney World Princess Half Marathon. Alma Cooper says it was her first trip to Walt Disney World since she was 8 years old and said it was very special. The 22-year-old covered the 13.1-mile course in 1 hour and 40 minutes. Cooper recently visited with her alma mater, Okemos High School, where she spoke with students.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We had some very perfect conditions across the area over the weekend, and even better start to the work week. Our temperatures outside this evening trending as much as 7 to as much as 15 degrees warmer compared to this same time yesterday. That's thanks to all of the sunshine that we have had in place throughout our Monday, and also the fact that we have had some breezy conditions, but those winds were directed out of the southwest. Currently, we're at 48 degrees in Jackson and Hillsdale, 46 our current temperature here in Lansing, and 47 right now over in Mason. I will mention we did have a couple of high temperatures today actually break 50 degrees. That was over in Charlotte, and 51 was the reported high temperature over in Owasso, so spring-like to say the least. We will hold on to these incredibly warm temperatures as we go throughout the rest of the work week, with high temperatures generally staying in the mid to low 40s. You should find some time to actually go outside and enjoy these spring-like temperatures while we have them, because notice, unfortunately, as we move into the weekend, it's going to become a little bit less ideal. A very brief return to winter as temperatures top out well below average, but notice we still have more 40s in the forecast as we move into the start of next week. Outside right now, satellite and radar shows dry and partly cloudy conditions across mid-Michigan. Our cloud cover will begin to increase over the course of the next few hours as our next area of low pressure begins to move in. That system going to be bringing us a very quick round of rain as we go throughout the overnight hours. Most of this should be for areas just along and south of I-94. However, we could have a better chance for some more widespread sprinkles as we move into the start of our Tuesday. By the time we get to 9-10 o'clock, we will begin to dry things out with mainly mostly cloudy conditions in the forecast for the day. There is a second system that we are tracking as well. This one going to be moving in late Wednesday morning into the early afternoon. Even though Precision Cast has us initially seeing a mixture of rain and snow, given our temperatures, it does look like this is going to be a mostly rain event for us yet again, and these rain showers will not be sticking around for the entire day. So still a lot of dry time for you to go outside and actually enjoy these lovely temperatures. There's not going to be a lot of rain at all. In terms of rainfall totals, by the time we get into the end of the day on Wednesday, a trace amount, possibly as much as 1/4 of an inch for areas along and north of I-96. Notice those rainfall totals do get just slightly higher the further south and east that we go. As we go throughout the overnight hours tonight, winds will begin to calm down, but temperatures overall still staying fairly mild, with overnight lows dropping down into the mid-30s. We start out with a couple of sprinkles for our Tuesday, but yet again dry and mostly cloudy for a good chunk of the day. And those high temperatures going to feel pretty lovely in the mid to upper 40s yet again. We will briefly cool things down, and just slightly as the chance for rain moves in Wednesday. A few lingering sprinkles possible on Thursday. High temperatures still in the 40s for Friday before we cool things down over the weekend. But of course, just when we cool things down, that's when we dry things out with a lot of sunshine in the forecast. And we have 3 more days with highs in the 40s next week, Siobhan.
Yeah, and we're talking mid-40s, Kendall.
Yeah, and we even hit 50 today too, so really impressive across the area.
Wow.
And hopefully we can hold on tight and not let go.
I said this last week. I'm wondering if we've turned the corner on, really cold temperatures, but we'll see.
We'll wait and see for now.
Fingers crossed, Kendall. Thank you. Well, coming up here, we here at TV6, we are getting ready to celebrate our 75th anniversary this year, and we could really use your help. So if you have any pictures or videos from back in the day, we've set up a folder for you to upload your memories at WLNS.com/75. We would love to use them on the air, and if you're willing to talk about it on TV, let us know and we'll try to get a hold of you.